Today we're going to talk about the nature of the roots. If you know the discriminant is 31, what can you tell me about the roots? What? Ah, I like it. There's definitely two roots. Let me show you what kind of information you should take away from the discriminant being 31. 31 is positive, so that means that b squared minus 4ac, the discriminant, is greater than 0, right? If it's 2, so we got 2 real roots. We definitely know that they're unequal, because the only time you have equal roots is if it's 0. The question is are they rational or irrational, and why? Jane? No. Why? That's true. But how do you know you can't make it a fraction? Well, that's true. Where is 31 located? Where is the discriminant located? It's located underneath a what? It's underneath a radical. Can you take the square root of 31? If you can't take the square root of it, in other words, if it becomes an irrational number, then the roots are irrational. Ooh, not a decimal, an irrational number. Let me show you. So here we go. So the discriminant is underneath the square root. Take the square root of 31. If it's an irrational number, which that is, it means the roots are also irrational. Okay? So 2 real, unequal, irrational roots. That's the nature of the roots. So let's talk. What kind of information first can you get away from this? How much is b squared minus 4ac? It is less than 0. Okay? b squared minus 4ac is less than 0, which means the stuff underneath the radical in the quadratic equation. Let me go and adjust my calculator into a plus bi mode, right? If you try to take the square root of this number, what kind of number would you get? Imaginary. Imaginary roots always come as a pair of what? Starts with a C. Conjugates. So that means there's always how many of them? 2. So 2, whoops. That means that if the discriminant is negative, you get 2 imaginary roots. That's it. So this one's not on your sheet, but how about a discriminant of 0? What does that mean in terms of b squared minus 4ac? Yeah, b squared minus 4ac equals 0. Remember, b squared minus 4ac is the equation of the discriminant. It equals 0. Hold on one second. Now let's think about what that means in terms of the quadratic formula, right? Inside the quadratic formula, should I write that down just so we can visualize it? Yeah? Okay. So here's the quadratic formula, right? Now I'm going to sub 0 in for the spot of the discriminant. Now hold on one second, right? 0 got subbed into the spot of the discriminant. What's the square root of 0? Notice I didn't even bother filling in b or a because I'm telling you it doesn't matter. Eventually you'll get a formula where you can. So that's negative b plus or minus 0 all over 2a. When you add 0 to something, does it change? Not at all. So really the root is just going to be negative b over 2a, right? Which means how many roots are there? There's only one root. Yeah, there's one. Is it real or imaginary? Real. Since there's one root, it's equal to itself. And it's rational because you can take the square root of 0. That's it. So we're going to do something like number 10. Number 10, the discriminant is 49. Now, what's the first thing you know about it? Whoa. Greater than 0, which means how many roots are there? Ah, nice. There are 2 real. Are they equal or unequal? No. Unequal. There is only one case where the roots are equal, and that's only if there can be one of them, right? And that's when there's only when b squared minus 4ac is 0 is there equal roots. So 2 real, unequal. Can you take the square root of 49? Yes, you get 7, so it's rational. Rational roots. Two real, unequal, rational roots. So here they give you an equation, right? You've got literally very little information. You can't graph it because you don't know how much this k over here is, right? You can't plug it into the quadratic formula because you don't have enough information. You can't use completing the square. The only way to solve it is using ideas about the discriminant. Brandon, what's up, buddy? You can't sub in a number for x. I'll tell you what you can do. What does this mean? If the roots are equal, this means that b squared minus 4ac has to equal 0, right? Before we even begin doing this, let's write down a, b, and c from this problem, because that'll confuse people. A is 1, b is 4. How much is c? C is k. That's a little weird. Okay, so b squared minus 4ac equals 0. We're going to sub in our numbers. 4 squared minus 4 times 1 times k equals 0. 16 minus 4k equals 0. Bless you. What do you need to, I mean, some people can just do the rest of that kind of math in their head. Yeah. So here we go. K has to equal 4. That's the value of k that makes the roots equal to 0. So that's how you solve it. Let's practice some more. They're not always this easy, though. Let's go. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. The roots are imaginary, which means what do you know about the discriminant? Yeah, whoa. Yes, I agree with that. It means, though, that b squared minus 4ac is less than 0, right? It means the stuff underneath that square root is a negative number. So now let's fill this stuff out, right? We fill it out. You know that a is 1. B is 6. C is k. Right? B squared minus 4ac is less than 0. So we're just going to sub our numbers in. We got 6 squared minus 4 times 1 times k is less than 0. 36 minus 4k is less than 0. Now, here's where people get all screwed up. You can't solve it the same way we did in our head. I'm going to add 4k to both sides. I should probably do that because people don't like, right? Whoops. Let me not put that there. I'm going to add 4k to this side. Whoa. 36 is less than 4k. Did I flip the sign? No. The only time you flip a sign is when you multiply or divide by a negative. Divide by 4, divide by 4, cross it off. 36 divided by 4 is how much? Okay. So what this means is that if any number at the end is bigger than 9, you get imaginary roots. Okay. So here we go. K is not always at the end. We could put it wherever it is that we want. The roots are real. The roots are real, which means what? What do you know about the discriminant? No. B squared minus 4ac is, you're right, it's greater than 0, but it could be also equal to 0, right? Because if it equals 0, you get one real root. If it's bigger than 0, you get two real roots. Both of those have the word real in them. So we're going to solve it just like we did before. You know, this time a is k, b is -9, c is equal to 4. We're going to get b squared minus 4ac is greater than or equal to 0. We're going to sub our stuff in. Make sure you plug this into your calculator with the parentheses around it, or else you're going to make a horrible, stupid mistake. Let me show you. It happens to so many people. It could be the reason why you don't pass your regions. -9 squared, -81. But if you put it in parentheses, it's 81, and that's because by order of operations, what your calculator is, I hope it doesn't mess with it. I knew it was going to do that.
What? Wait.
Right?
How does that happen?
I can't use it because I can't use my clicker because it's going to change the calculator. What the calculator is doing is it's squaring 9 and then multiplying it by the negative in the front. That's why in 9th grade we make such a big deal about you guys having good mathematical grammar and having parentheses around stuff. And then some people are always like, but why do I have to? It doesn't make a difference. And then we're like, but it does sometimes. You know. Here we go. So 81, this is going to be 81 minus 16k. Also, let's talk about a few things that people mess up on, right? Can you subtract these two numbers?
Yeah.
No. You can do that. You can do that. You can add 16 to both sides, absolutely. But don't subtract these numbers. It's a very common mistake. Add 16k. Sorry, I apologize to both sides. Right? Cancel that off. 81 greater than or equal to 16k. No. Thanks. I appreciate it. Divide by that. Divide by that. Does anybody have a calculator? I'm going to be honest. That looks like it doesn't divide evenly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to literally leave it like this. Don't round unless they ask you to. Let's talk. Okay, you ready? Now, from looking at a picture of a graph, you should be able to know things about the discriminant and about the roots themselves, right? Take question number 1 on your sheet of paper. Here we go. So you see the parabola. Is it hitting the graph? No. So what kind of roots do you have? Done. Piece of cake. Piece of cake. Now, this is going to be function notation. We're going to talk about that. But you should have seen it in 9th grade. F of x is the same thing as me saying y. What? Okay, maybe you haven't seen it in 9th grade. And we will come back to that. Okay? Which graph represents a parabola whose corresponding quadratic equation has imaginary roots? Okay. What? Whoa! So it is changed on your sheet. I hate the way this program does that. That's why I was using it. Okay, in any event, the equation with imaginary roots is the one that does not hit the graph. Does not hit the graph. These are the types of questions. By the way, this is the same program that I used to build your tests. And so these are the same wording of the questions, things of that sort. That's what I'm trying to get you used to. The roots of this equation, notice there's no numbers in it. The roots of this equation, they're real. They're rational. They're equal. What's true about the graph? You're the man. Tangent means to hit once. Absolutely. It's tangent to the x-axis. Real, rational, and equal. The word equal means it touches once. Touches the one. You're the man, Brandon. Good job. Okay. All right. All right, so here we go. So here it is. Once again, there's no numbers whatsoever. Look at how good you guys are now. This thing does not intersect the x-axis. It doesn't intersect the x-axis, which means the discriminant is what? No, it doesn't hit. It lies entirely above or entire. It means it's imaginary, which means the number underneath the radical was what kind of a number? Negative, which means the discriminant is what? Which means it's choice. For me, it's choice A, but it would be different for you. Okay, the value of the discriminant is 144. 144. How many x-intercepts does it have?
2.
It has 2. Let me show you these questions. If you see 3, that is a ridiculous multiple choice question, you could automatically cross it off. The answer will never, ever, ever be 3. Ever. For these problems. Ever. Exactly. How's it going to touch? But you'd be surprised. Some people bug out, and when they choose that, it means you really, really either have text anxiety, you didn't study, or you just freaked out. I don't know. Or you just randomly chose C because that's what somebody told you. All right. All right. Which of the following graphs would best represent a parabola having a discriminant equal to 12? Oh my God. So you guys got the point of this, right? Yeah. You're amazing. Okay. On my sheet, it's different than yours.